So when you're talking, you often come across as quite scientific. Do you have any spiritual beliefs?
Well, I don't know if one could really, if one needs to separate the two, really, because I think that just science is spiritual. I mean, I suppose it's just that it sort of conforms to this idea where you need some empirical data testing the hypothesis to actually derive an answer, whereas spirituality might not really differ from that. It's just that people's standards of what constitutes evidence, which is purely subjective, then leads that open really to people just deciding that the fact that the Bible says that the Bible is written by God, and that's what proves and is sufficient evidence that the Bible is written by God. And that kind of circular reasoning, who am I to edify these people into saying, well, there's no evidence for this, no evidence for that, because it's just everybody's choice on what they decide to believe. But I definitely think that I think we're all spiritual in that we do make a giant leap from actual proven data, facts, and we extrapolate and infer and assume, and the result is that we end up having these belief systems which might not actually align with the reality that we could test if we were willing to. And that, I think, seems to be like a universal trait of a human, that we just always make assumptions, which is fine. And my spiritual belief would be that I suppose I would, and again, it's just a sort of a assumption based on what I do know, and it just seems to me that statistically, the statistical improbability, or even just logical improbability of life, something as complex as life, forming just by chance, seems so absurd to think that that could happen by chance, when one realizes that the very smallest, the very simplest form of life, which would be a simple cell, like living life, and for it to be able to have the ability to maintain metabolism, maintain like have an ability to have that self-repair for maintenance, and to be able to then reproduce, is just so complex that it seems just to me, and that's my spiritual belief, I suppose, that's just impossible, and that could never happen ever. It's just it's something that we still can't manage even under laboratory conditions, when we can make spaceships that land back on Earth, and we can go to the moon or whatever, but we can make mobile phones, and we can do a lot even in genetics, but we still can't even come close to taking raw materials and converting them into a living, even the most simplest life form. And therefore, it seems to me that it would happen by itself when we can't even do it whilst we're there, and we can actually manipulate every single constituent to make life that, yeah. And so that leads me to believe that there is some intelligence that's actually responsible for the creation that we are experiencing. And I know that because everything is my perception, therefore I am the creator ultimately of everything. Like nothing exists for me other than what I perceive, and that constitutes even perceiving things that I like a dream, or where I actually impart what possibly could be outside perceptions with my own data. And yes, I feel that there must be an intelligent creator, but I'm open to there not being. But to me, it seems like the very concept that people ask, atheists and people like that don't believe in the concept of an intelligent creator, they ask like, where's the evidence? But for me, it's very much just so obvious. Like the same way that if I feel like if I was in an ancient tribe back on Earth before we had any industrial capacity, and I saw a modern spaceship land there, that I would not think to myself that it just somehow manufactured itself out of mud and lightning and amino acids, and I would know that it was designed. And even though if I knew nothing about it, I would assume that I would see it as something that was definitely designed and created by an intelligence. And so that's what allows me to believe, yes, there is a creator, yes, there is intelligence, but that's very, very separate and in fact completely unrelated to the religious creator in the Bible, which is a whole different topic. But that's something that's that has its own whole concept and context. But my idea is just, yeah, that life and all creation seem to be so complex that I just cannot imagine how they could come about just by accident, just by them happening, when you would need so many things to function. Like how would a cell, which is the simplest type of life form, have the capacity to multiply that first cell that never multiplied before? Where would it have the program to do that, and to split everything up in a way that would create another version of itself that is functional and also has metabolism and also has the ability to maintain homeostasis and repair? It just seems just ludicrous to think that could happen by itself. So that, yeah, so I do believe in a creative intelligence, whether that's just me, because like I said, everything I experience is through me, so therefore I am the creator of everything I see. But like there is some intelligence in the equation for me, definitely. So that's, yeah, my spirituality.